What was that like, having so many female influences around you?
Stifling.
This is amazing that you would even dare say that you're stifled, because clearly this man is not stifled in any way. Clearly the
Well,
impact
not anymore.
did not stick.
I left them in India.
Hello and welcome back to Overstimulated. Today we are getting overstimulated with Ashwyn Singh. Ashwyn is probably the most famous person we've had on the pod to date. I don't know, no offense to the other guests, but Ashwyn, you have an incredible list of credits. You've been on CBC The Debaters, you've been at the Halifax Comedy Festival, the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, and you just finished a sold-out tour in Western Canada.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I do mean offense to the other guests.
Just so you know.
I'm proud.
Does that make you feel overstimulated, all that work on the go?
No, I pretty much deserve. No, I enjoy working hard.
Okay, but
I like thinking
one
about
thing that
stuff.
strikes me as so interesting about you is that you are successful, but you also feel like you are deserving of your success, which I think makes some people think you're an asshole.
No, they're right. I don't know what I deserve and what I don't deserve. I leave it to the audience. I just feel like I'm deluded enough to want more every time I have something.
Yeah.
All this to say, a lot of my fuel is spite. I function like a lot on spite.
Yes.
So,
You do.
So when I get annoyed, I write about it a lot. I'm like, why don't you get it? And then like a year later, sometimes people laugh at it, and I'm like, that's the joke.
That's what, it was worth being annoyed over. It was worth the increased blood pressure
Yes.
for that.
In a weird way, I'm justifying society's dumb.
Right.
Oh well.
You also have quite the incredible come-up story, I think. You lived in a storage locker behind a 7-Eleven for how long?
It was behind a 7-Eleven?
I don't know. I imagine that in my head.
8 months, 9 months? Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't a storage locker. It was like subsidized housing
Okay.
with like a shared bathroom, shared kitchen, and the whole building smelled of like cigarette smoke. And then the room...
You just stayed in every apartment in Toronto. I thought this
No, but
was
also the room didn't have like a bedroom or a bathroom. It just had one couch in it. And then, so I slept on the couch for like 8-9 months. Like if I'm not paying rent and
Yeah.
I'm like crashing somewhere, I'm not then going to help interior design the place. Like, I was like, I came here because I had no budget. That was the...
And can you just explain for everyone who's listening, why did you do that?
Well, I had convinced my parents that if I was ever going to take a risk with my life and do something other than software development, which you knew, that now was the time, because I was, 26, 25 when I did that. And it was just like, well, I have next to no responsibility and no back pain, so the couch is fine. So it was time to take the risk, and all I really wanted to figure out was survival. I was like, if I can make about as much money or less than what I'm making right now. I just did the math. I was like, it takes like 2.2K to house me and feed me and keep me alive per month. If I can make that with stand-up, then that frees me up to not be losing money.
Yeah.
And I can figure out how to make more later.
Right. That's such an incredible risk, because I think there's so many people out there that they want to start their own business. They want to do their own thing. But I mean, I will say that's quite a thrifty lifestyle you lived. And probably a lot of people maybe wouldn't be willing to do that. But I think the courage that you had to believe in yourself enough to that, like, a different reality was possible.
It was
for you.
delusion.
It was delusion. We are highly delusional.
And you know me,
Overstimulated.
I don't have much of an expenditure. You buy new clothes like every other week, and
do.
I have worn the same wardrobe for 3 years.
Yeah. And it shows.
Yeah. And now I wear new things because people bring me free shoes.
Yes, I don't know if we can
shows.
get these shoes. We definitely have these shoes in here. So something I didn't tell you about is one of our first episodes got quite a lot of engagement because my toes were out. So people can definitely see the shoes. I don't know if you want to
And you
flash your
decided to
shoes.
cover them up for mine? Are you insane?
No, I cover them up now because I want people to pay attention to my voice, not my toes.
It's okay. You can pay attention to her toes if you're paying attention to my voice. That's fine.
No, it's not. For everybody just listening, Ashwyn has Adidas. They're actually kind of ugly, but they say his first and last name on them, and they've got a picture of him on there. And how did you acquire these?
Somebody came to the Winnipeg show, and they brought me these shoes. and they were like, we made these for you. Can you please post these on your Instagram? Unboxed by Customs. This is me repaying you.
But I actually wanted to ask you about your family.
Okay.
You grew up in India.
I did.
And you have how many sisters?
6.
You have 6 sisters.
Yes. Well, now 7.
Right. Because you have a trans sister.
Yes.
For context.
So one can say I always had 7, and then one of them realized that they were the 7th. That's possible, depending on your philosophical bent.
Right. Ashwyn and the 7 little dwarves. The 7 little sisters.
One of them is like 6'2", wouldn't call her little.
Little.
Yeah, I was like, what a waste of height.
Okay, so you have one mammoth of a sister. What was that like, having so many female influences around you?
Stifling. Also, I can hear the sound person
can't you
like
tell this
laughing
man?
from backstage. He's like, ha ha! Is this man just so sick of you invite a guest and agree with your every sentence? Like, what's happening?
This is amazing that you would even dare say that you're stifled, because clearly this man is not stifled in any way. Clearly the impact
Not anymore.
did not stick.
I left them in India. No, so, but also when I say this, like, people kind of, so my dad had 2 brothers, and all 3 of them have 2 offspring. So one of the others has 2 daughters, and then I grew up with a sister, or at least with a brother that happens to be my sister.
You grew up with one
So when I say
sibling close to you.
sisters, I mean like first cousins that all just grew up in the same house as
Okay.
I did. So for me, there's practically no difference, but like people get very confused.
Oh, okay. That it wasn't actually your mother
Yeah,
and father.
they're not
that,
like
yeah,
blood relatives
in that. Okay.
in that manner. But
Families
so-
can, it's 2024. Families can look like whatever they want to look like.
I'm not saying people can identify as my sister. I'm just saying, like when you grow up in the same house with people the same age as you, you look at them as your siblings.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like that's put you more in touch with the female mind?
I think it's made it harder for me to bond with men. Because
I can confirm I have watched you try to bond with men.
You have? Who? Okay, this we need to know, okay? Pause. What is go?
You and I were both at Comedy Bar one time.
Okay.
And the only people you were talking to was me and our friend Jwalit.
Okay.
And actually, I didn't actually watch you attend. Like, there was just, usually I feel like you work a room, like you're chit chatting with everybody.
Okay.
And there was like one particular night where I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody came up to you and tried to have a conversation, and you were just like, yeah. I don't know if you didn't like them or something like that, but you were just giving like the most cold responses ever. And I was like, what is he doing?
This is a comic?
Yeah. I'll
Did
tell
they-
you who it was after. but
Okay.
yeah.
I might need to apologize to whoever this is.
It's like, no, okay, so you're not good with the fellas.
Yeah, I also I think one time somebody asked me, do you like, I don't know who this was. I think they were trying to set me up with somebody. They're like, what kind of women do you like? Do you like Indian women? And I was like, I like women. The rest is negotiable.
Oh my god.
So, and I mean, I'm trying to say in a funny way that I have spent most of my time in the company of women. So my trouble happens like when I have to escalate it out of friendship. Cause like the one thing growing up around that much estrogen, cut that out. I'm kidding. I spent a lot of time with feminine, and I befriended it, and I just don't know how to not befriend it. That's my first. So
Well, that's excellent to know you weren't trying to fuck any of your sisters. Actually,
thank you.
that's
Thank you.
good guy moment. Good guy moment over
As
here.
somebody with 2 siblings who are both male, and as a triplet, it's far more concerning that you didn't try to do that.
Oh my god.
You started whatever this is. I don't know. But
No, but so you find yourself commonly in the friend zone.
of my own volition.
Yes.
Like it's just that the energy with which I start all of these conversations, I don't know at first which way they're going to go. So when I know exactly who I like, then I'm just tongue tied and I end up not talking to them. So when I do talk to them, I don't know like where it's going to go. So I almost immediately treat them as like my friend that I have known for a very long time. That's my default because I don't like small talk anyway. So I'll start the first conversation with, so how was your childhood or something
Right.
insane.
Yeah.
And then they're like, this man could not possibly be trying to hit on me right now. So they get very comfortable, and I enjoy the comfortable.
Right.
I just then don't know how to transition out of that. Like,
And then you're like, do you want to smooch? And they're like, what? You're my best friend.
well, I've never said that. That sounds.
Okay, well, maybe you should try
Do you
that
want to
out.
kiss? Sounds bad. Do you want to smooch? Sounds. What do I say? It sounds like I'm infantilizing these women.
Yeah.
Do you want to smooch?
Hey, girly pops.
Girly pop?
Do you want to smooch?
Okay. I spent time around women. I didn't become one.
No, that was your sister. Since you have knowledge on women as your friends, I've got some rapid fire questions to test your knowledge on women.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
No, but yes.
Okay. Where does the Diva cup go?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, where?
Inside.
Inside where?
Okay, so here's how the human body works. There's 3 holes total.
I hope every scientist in the world is watching.
Whoever invented it was also a man, I think.
Okay.
Because
The 3 holes.
women weren't allowed in science for so long.
Name the 3 holes.
Upstairs, downstairs, and backside. So
Top floor, middle floor, basement.
yeah, and the Diva Cup you can like contort into like one of like either like a 7 shape or a triangle or a,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Okay.
And then it's not a shot glass, okay? It's
Don't drinketh from that cup. How many tampons does a woman need per month?
Ooh, I actually don't know, but maybe like 1 per day for the time of the month, so like 6 or 7. I don't fucking know.
No.
I've actually heard this question asked and answered. I have no idea what the answer was. Like 24? I don't know.
24. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. I feel like it's like probably like 3, 4. Like it depends on
3
on
or
the
4 a
day.
day
That's
during the time of the month.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
7 times 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
more or less. Depends on how
Sound guy, do not help me, okay? I'm just saying that on purpose. Please do help me. Have Google open right now.
No.
Okay.
No, we're doing another one. Okay. How long is a T-length dress?
A T-length dress,
Mm-hmm.
probably like covering like anything fun. So like knee length or lower.
Yeah. That's actually it's kind of like just above, like kind of like where my boots are, like it's above the ankle, but like not quite like mid shin. It's like enough that you can put a cute little shoe
So if
under
you
it.
weren't wearing boots, your OnlyFans would get engagement.
100%. Yeah.
Yes, of
And they'd be
course.
like, yo, pop up those toes in a T-length dress.
Because that's what those queens were about. Am I right?
Go on.
Feet pics? Okay,
pics.
enough.
If I say I'm a 34D, what does that mean?
Bet you're 34 years old and you got D's in high school. I know that's not what it actually means, but that's what it means when you say
When I say it, I'm 34D. You think I'm still out here talking about my high school grades?
No, but Indians care.
Really? Okay, well.
No, we grew up in a generation where everybody's grades just got like pinned to a bulletin board in the morning. So like there's very different sensitivities that Indians have. Like they kind of don't like sometimes if you joke about like religion or sexuality.
Okay.
But like grades, who you voted for, this shit is public information.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so very different
Interesting.
sensitivities.
Okay, this is why I've famously bombed in front of your mostly Indian audiences talking about sex and
It
relationships.
wasn't famously, only I knew it was happening.
I'm just getting cooked.
To be fair, I came into this podcast with the intention of I've seen all of your guests. They're really nice, but they're also comedians. And I was like, where is your roast?
Yeah,
And
this needed to happen.
I just think I've known you for long enough.
This is the
that
roast
I'm,
of Hillary
I'm
Henderson.
unhesitating in my.
I appreciate that. Okay, I got a couple more for you. What is a Russian manicure?
Ooh, I don't know. I know French tips, and then I know regular, and then I know what's the glue-ons or the cheap shit from Walmart.
Yeah.
Because that's all I've seen you wear.
Oh, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. On more than one occasion, I've been in like the backseat of a car being like, shit, gotta like press the nails on. And
Yeah, and then she's eating like IBS food.
yeah, anytime Ashwyn and I have been on the road together, I always like provide my own hummus. And everybody else eats it, okay? It's not like it's just me. I'm caring about our bowels, actually. You guys should thank me
If
for
I
that.
stay silent, will you keep making this worse for yourself?
Probably. What is the difference between a boob guy and a butt guy?
Like I said, I've spent all of my time in the company of women. So I have no idea what either of those things are. Just somebody that pays attention up above or down below as a preference.
Middle floor, basement,
Yeah, and I pretty much hone in right into the middle. So.
I go right for the belly button. That's actually. What do you think is the most beautiful part on a woman?
Brain.
Ew. Okay. Come on.
No, not when she has it. Like afterwards, like in a test tube by itself, just the brain. Like this is a woman's, is the same size as a man's. Why don't you use it? Okay,
It's shocking that you're single. Actually, it's like I'm so confused. How did that happen?
I'm very attracted to faces.
Okay.
Like it's like just faces.
Okay.
Like they will solve most of my other gripes.
Okay.
Like if I have any. Usually I don't.
What are your gripes? What do you not like?
No, that's specific to the woman. They don't all have the same gripe.
What are my gripes?
Oh, I think you underestimate yourself a lot.
Oh, that's actually really nice. Thank you. Thank you, Ashwyn. This is another good guy moment turned into therapy.
Yeah, but then it comes out as like inexplicable extra energy on stage, and I'm like, if you just had more confidence, I want you to be more sure of yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes I get excited, and I'm like, it's like all the energy just like comes out. I think that's it's also like an ADHD thing as well.
Yeah, like when we went on the road together, you said like we were road dogs once.
Yeah.
And we all gave you cursory laughs. And then you like repeated that joke like 1,400 times that trip.
Yeah.
And we were like, it was kind of funny the first time.
I don't actually think I meant it as a joke. I think I wanted something to unify us as a team.
And you chose road dogs.
Yeah. And now every time I see you or another member of the road dogs, I always go, road dogs. Okay. Like it did have a purpose.
Yeah.
I was
and
trying
then
to
when
build
you're
community.
not there and it's just us, we talk about that shit.
And you're like, we're never bringing that white girl out on the road with us again.
That's why I only
She's
take
too
you to
hyper.
Hamilton now.
That's fine. You got to go somewhere. I'm from Hamilton, so those are my people there. You need me there, actually.
Yeah, I do.
But your parents are very supportive of your comedy
Now. Before they were just nervous.
Okay.
Because following your dreams is a very North American concept and it's treated as a right. And I think where I come from, it's treated as a privilege. It's like you have a certain amount of achievement that you have to do to take care of your own survival before following your passion or your dream is seen as doable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had a plan. Like I think my parents' trust in me is like a credit score. Like I kind of have to like take little debts and pay them back on time so that when I come and say I'm gonna get a mortgage, they're like, you'll probably pay it back in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that.
Do they help you financially? Is that what you're saying?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
He's a self-made man. Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
I mean, I was helped more than probably white children are helped. Like they paid my university tuition, which was not insignificant. It's like
As an
that's why I
international
get like
student,
a little annoyed when like citizens of Canada are like, oh, how dare these immigrants come to our country, and they criticize it because they're like, yes, we let them in based on the goodness of our heart, not the $200,000 in international
right.
student tuition or
Yeah.
the declining birth rate or the empty labor market.
Yes.
This is definitely because we're good people.
Right. Yeah. We do. The immigration officers are just like vibes. Vibes are good.
Yeah.
Like, here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is basic economic policy. If
Yeah.
you didn't need them, you wouldn't allow them.
That's right. That's right. Well, speaking of policy, one thing I want to talk to you about today is the relations between Canada and India. Not so friendly right now. The relations between the Indian and the Canadian we have here today, pretty friendly, despite us roasting each other the last bit.
I disagree.
Roasted.
Okay, you can take it again. You can take it again. I'm
okay.
sorry. I was too serious.
No, it's
no. I think India and Canada are kind of on the outs a little bit, and also Indians and Canadians aren't exactly friendly, but for different reasons. I don't think they care about the same things. Like India and Canada political relations, I don't think is the same thing as Indian-Canadian relations.
Right.
Like India and Canada might be like, I don't think the average Canadian cares about the Indian government maybe assassinating a member of some Vancouver, like people don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like most Canadians barely care about the Punjabi people dancing outside the Eaton Centre.
Right.
And that's the real hate, though. And
Yes.
This is Trudeau's Canada.
Yes.
Like, how many times do we have to tell you that Trudeau was only pretending to be Indian?
Yeah, he did brownface 5 times. I was gonna say once, 5, 7. I lost count.
I don't remember.
did, yeah.
At this point, I don't know any Canadian comics. I don't have like 8 jokes about Trudeau doing blackface. So it's also like blackface is bad, but if you get like a full body spray tan, that's okay. So the real problem is that he didn't commit to the bit. Like, I don't know.
He should have buffered around his elbows just to really make it set him.
What makes it offensive is that you can see the tan run out on neckline.
Yeah.
Like black up till here and then white as you can be the rest of the way down. I'm like, what are you doing?
He just did bad contour.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's another question for you. What's the difference between contour and blush?
Well, blush, like contouring is supposed to like accentuate the like bone structure of your face, right?
Damn.
So
Your beard's kind of giving contour, actually.
Oh, yes, it is makeup for men.
Beards are famously makeup for men. Yeah,
Yes.
I think I say they're push-up bras for men.
Yes.
Actually,
I do have a jawline underneath, but even I haven't really seen it.
But we're not certain. Actually, no one's seen it.
In a very long time.
No one has seen it.
Yeah,
No
my
one has
mom
seen
could
it.
tell you, but like it was fairly fluffy back then.
You were fluffy?
Yeah, I was a child.
Sorry, children are fluffy?
Huh?
Children are fluffy?
Have you ever seen them? They're so cute.
Okay, I've never heard them called fluffy. Like little chubby cheeks. You had like a little cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was a very white kid.
A white kid?
Like
Your skin complexion was
yeah,
white.
I don't mean privileged.
I was like, Dad, when are we going to the golf course? Where's my trust?
Yeah, I was very fair complexioned, which according to Indian judgment is good.
Right.
And then over time, I started enjoying presence in the sun, and my mom was always upset when I came home. She's like, "You're getting darker."
Oh.
And I was like, "And this is a problem. Why?" And then she couldn't say anything because she knew it was racist.
I found a lot of TikToks actually that were talking about how certain Indian Canadians,
Yes.
Indians in Canada, are more racist towards other Indians than like Canadians.
Look at you self-correct on your own podcast.
What's your experience been with like
The
with
fair
racism in
complexion
Canada?
thing. The racism in Canada in North America is subtle until it becomes like very like right now it's a little weird because there was like one video of like somebody taking a shit on the street that happened to have color in their skin.
Yeah.
And ever since then, like half of the videos that I post, they're like, we'll be better when you stop taking shits in our country. And I'm like, our country? Also, I don't accuse all of you of burying your guilt deep in the residential schools. Now, do I? Like one person's error is not everybody's.
Mic drop, get him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they're also any person, you're taking a shit. Hopefully once a day. If you're not, seek medical attention. But
yes,
like,
and I like to
everyone's
take
taking
my
shits.
shits figuratively on stage.
Just takes a big dump.
Here's your guilt, and I lob it at them.
He
Like,
just shits on the audience for 90 straight minutes.
yeah.
But yeah, but have you found, what do you think that what's happening between India and Canada right now? Do you think that's impacting how Indians see themselves in Canada or how they perceive their safety here?
I don't know.
Please speak on behalf of an entire country, actually.
Yeah, one that has 10 times your population,
Yes.
might I add, with like 900 different subcultures for some reason. But I don't know. I haven't really spent any time with any Indians that are afraid for their safety. I think they're more annoyed that judgment is being projected upon them through no actions of their own. They're more upset about the racism. They're not as afraid for their safety. At this point, Indians in Canada are like fairly cemented and like at least as an ethnic group. So I don't think they're afraid that all of us are going to just be deported or assassinated. Like your economy couldn't bear it.
That's actually so true.
Yeah, would you want to not go to Tim Hortons every morning?
Yeah.
And it's also weird because I'm like, well, people understand, like they might pretend that they don't understand, but it's basic economic function, immigration in general. So like at some point, immigrants to get into Canada had to be intelligent and wealthy. Then somebody decided that they could just be wealthy. but it wasn't immigrants that decided because they can't vote, right? So it's like, well, now you're blaming people that you brought into the country for your greed, or maybe your government's great at best.
Yeah.
But like you also elected your government.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then, like, by definition, most people that you're bringing into the country at least have more money than you. And usually, at least for up until like 5 years ago, were also on average smarter than you. Because that's all you
Ouch.
would let in.
Right. Yeah. No, like that's a very distinct point. Like if you're coming here as a student, it is the best of the brightest. And also you mentioned the price tag that comes with that.
Yeah. And so then I'm like, well, if they're smarter than you and they have more money than you, of course they're going to take your jobs. Why would they not? That doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I be more intelligent than you and wealthier than you and have less upwards mobility?
Excellent question. Clip it. Trudeau.
This is not to say
Stitch
you
it.
should let more dumb people into your country.
no,
That
actually,
is
that's
also a
what I'm
dumb
hearing.
idea. I'm just saying that you should be more wary of your own choices and not blame the result on other people.
No, it's so true. What you're talking about here is it's the blame that's placed is first of all misplaced and also just I think really hurtful and really damaging. And how can people don't get on planes for a day? People don't immigrate. People don't put their whole family, their whole belongings in suitcases. People don't get on planes because it's like fun and chill and like maybe there's a bit of wanderlust or excitement to it, but it is incredibly, I imagine, challenging and difficult to. I moved from Hamilton to Toronto and I was like, goodbye everybody. Like I've made it into the big city now.
I will say my philosophical bent has never been that my life is difficult. Like I did everything I did by choice. I moved here by choice. I went to university by choice. I quit what I did by choice. Like also I have nobody else's struggle to compare mine to. So I can't really be like my life was
Yeah.
harder than somebody. I have no idea. I don't really think my life was all that hard on average. Like I was born to fairly loving parents.
Yeah.
And I haven't really had to struggle for food. So
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's more just the idea that like if you make a joke about India, you'll get somebody in your comments that's like, how dare these Indians leave India? Then they go make fun of India outside India. You make a joke about Canada, somebody will go, how dare these immigrants move to Canada voluntarily and then criticize Canada in Canada. You make fun of a country that's not India or Canada, you'll get somebody going, how dare these people make fun of a country you have never been to?
Right.
And I'm like, well, if the three of you could have a conversation and figure out which location has a sense of humor.
Right. And where, in your opinion, having traveled to different countries to do stand-up, does anywhere have a sense of humor?
Everywhere except Instagram. The people at my shows do not act this way.
Right.
It's the same as the Punjabi people dancing outside the Eaton
Right,
Center.
yeah.
It's like, the only hate I've seen for it has happened online because you can hide behind anonymity.
Yes.
And you don't, but like the people that are at the Eaton Center surrounding those Punjabi people dancing outside the Eaton Center, it's a bunch of white people hoping they'll be asked to join.
Right. Because they're like, that looks fun. Also, I'm like, what if the reverse was true? Like, what if a bunch of people from India were looking at like the Freedom Convoy and being like, damn, I really want a truck too. Like, that's not fair.
Also, some of them were Indian. So that, like,
Yeah,
like
I know, I know, I
20%
know.
of the convoy was Brampton. So
And you knew them all personally. They were all your relatives.
they're
of
all my
course.
uncle. I get free dinner at all of the restaurants.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, it's just the iron. This, I mean, not irony, but most of us actually like each other's culture. Also, I dare you to close down every Indian restaurant in a 5-mile radius and tell me you don't need Indians. Like that's like you'll fuck up your DoorDash.
What is there left to eat? We talked about this last week on the podcast, but there are reports of Canadians being alert for scurvy. And I don't know if Indian food contains a lot of vitamin C.
I don't know either. I'm not saying stop eating fruit. I'm not saying replace your orange with butter chicken. I know they have the same color, but that's not.
Same color does not equal same food group. Everybody remember that.
Yes, and same color does not equal same quality.
Yeah, yeah. But as someone who, Hillary Henderson is famously white as hell, who has seen like the influx of immigration over the last 27 years of my life.
What influx?
What influx? There has been no influx. But it's interesting because whenever I don't understand where the rhetoric comes from, where people are like, someone's taking my job, someone's taking my opportunity. I shouldn't say most of the time, obviously people of any race or any culture in all types of jobs at all types of levels, all types of management, etc. But when you're thinking of people are now looking around, economic times are not good right now for Canadians. They're now looking around, they're looking for someone to blame. I don't understand how the logical jump in people's minds goes to blame somebody else who's also trying to make it and trying to hustle here and trying to pay the crazy rent and grocery prices that we're all trying to pay. Like, I don't understand how people just make that jump to say, oh, it's your problem. You're the reason why I'm suffering because of this.
Well, the logic is just othering, right? Everybody that doesn't look like you, doesn't feel like you, doesn't think like you is the problem. But also I think it was very intelligent for the people that own existence to remain nameless and faceless, because then you can just call them the government. And then you can hate the government for being the government, and you never have like an actual name or a face to hate. And you can go on like hating the people that are about as financially well off as you,
Right.
for having like maybe a crumb more than you, and you can keep fighting over that.
That crumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody that actually owns all of the other shit is like, yeah, just keep fighting. Just don't think about who's making you fight right now.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So we'll see you in Ottawa, bitches.
and I'm running for prime minister.
And you won't even have to do brown face.
I'm doing it already. Isn't it great? I did the inside of my skin. And I made my mom brown too for some reason.
And actually, he made his whole family brown. It's actually a whole conspiracy.
Yeah. It's all just fear of what you don't understand and who you don't know. Like, I don't know that you knew very many Indians before you knew me.
I think you were probably, and probably still this day, my closest Indian friend.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you've come to my house and then hung out with me and like 3 other Indians. And then we all act the same as you when we're as high and as drunk.
Yeah.
We all danced together to Baby by Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
I have the video. Right?
Clip it. We'll roll the tape. Yeah, we're eating the same snacks. We're laughing about the same things. We're worried about the same things.
We all eat the same snacks because they're her snacks.
Because they're my snacks, and I provide the hang with the snacks. That's my role.
And it's just, I think it's very easy to dismiss people you've never met, people you don't know. I don't know how many people that are judging people on Instagram have friends of the type that they are attempting to judge. Like,
probably not many. Yeah.
Because like whoever's on Instagram, like, I fucking hate these Indians. I'm like, if you have 3 Indian friends and you hate all of them, I actually would respect that more. Because I have 3 Indian friends that I hate.
Them.
I just also have 3 other Indian friends whose company I enjoy. Right? And because I moved here, I had the opportunity to meet hundreds of different white people and then go, oh, I don't hate all of them.
Just a lot.
Just a few of them. And that is more of an IQ issue. I just met a few dumb people. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Did you go to Oshawa?
No, I mean, yes. But that's not where I met them. That's I mean, also like small towns are actually far more fun. Like, I have this in my act now where I'm like, people say small towns are racist. And I'm like, no, in small towns, you just know who the racists are. In Toronto, they can hide on Instagram. You land in St. John, the first white dude you meet, he's like, don't go over there. That's where the racist lives. And then you just don't go over there. Like, it's...
He's got the exact address. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And it's like the... conflation is very easy for people, right? To hate what you don't know, to think you hate what you haven't met. And like, are there no opinions of yours that you've changed in the years that you've known me?
That's a really good question. I think no, I don't think I held a lot of like preconceived notions of what that would be like.
Let me put this a different way.
Yeah.
You know, when you're at a comedy bar and I'm at comedy bar and somebody walks up to me and the communication doesn't go perfectly. This has happened many times because
Yes.
I am me.
Yeah.
Right? Which, by the way, has nothing to do with me being Indian. It has to do with me being on possibly some
Autistic.
spectrum
Yeah.
that I don't know of and is not
not the
diagnosed. So
Kinsey
let's not say I
spectrum.
have it.
It's not the Kinsey spectrum. It's a different spectrum.
Yes. But when it doesn't go correctly, I'm also sure you most likely had people literally walk up to you after you've spoken to me, like, why are you speaking to that guy? And I don't know what you've said out loud, but I know your inner reaction was, no, you just don't know him like that. Right? And I'm not saying I'm easy to get to know, right? But I'm, for some reason, expected to make the effort. Right? I had somebody, like, they call it assimilation. And I'm like, first of all, borders are a weird thing for an artist. Like, I literally am trying to explain myself to people that don't understand me. And communication is the skill, right? So if I can go do that in colonizer country, I can do it here. And like, and everywhere will other you, right? Like, Indians will go, oh, this is somebody that immigrated somewhere else, so they're a non-resident Indian, so they can attempt to not relate with you, right? And then Canadians will go, oh, this is an immigrant, they don't know. And I'm like, your great grandfather was an immigrant, and I'm not burying anybody, so I don't, right? So, like, the whole thing is like, people don't make enough of an effort to try to understand people that they don't know, and they make their groups really homogenous.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I want to bring you to more shows, right? And I want you to perform for more Indian audiences.
Yeah. Well, and I think that one makes you a better entertainer and a better performer when you can diversify who you're speaking to and making sure your material works in a variety of contexts. But like, I think you're touching on a very important piece, right? Of like, when you don't know someone, it's easy to judge them based off what you believe to be true or what you've perceived to be true in the past based on your connection or relationship to someone. And there's like, what you're touching on as well is like, there's certain things about you, Ashwyn, as a person that are perhaps off-putting to people that
But they're
have
about
nothing
me.
that have nothing to do with the fact that you're an Indian man.
Yeah.
That have all to do with the fact that you're a 5 on the Kinsey scale.
Hate me for the flaws of my specific character.
At least do your research before you start hating.
Yeah. And it's all on my Instagram.
What do you feel excited about being in Canada now?
I'm excited and I have been for a long time, just to be in a position where I actually get to voice my frustrations to society's face, and have them tell me whether or not they approve.
Do you think being in Canada has given you more of a voice and a platform to do that?
Being in a place where there are more people than not that don't understand me, right? Like, if I didn't grow up in a homogenous culture, because I understand Indians and I love them, and usually when I go back, the love is mutual, right? Except for my siblings, but
all the sisters.
yeah,
They've all
but
turned
if
against
you're
you.
not gonna hate your sister,
Yeah.
who you gonna hate? So, but the having to explain yourself to people that don't know you is harder usually. Unless it's like a very interpersonal communication conversation, then like the better they know you, the harder it gets, just because you feel like the fear of being judged is
Right.
paramount. But it's a skill to, like, we've had conversations about this after, like, you got on stage
Yeah.
at my show versus when I got on
Yes.
stage at your show,
Yeah.
where I was like, okay, when I'm talking to your audience, I actually love them because I'm infinitely curious about the things that they're gonna think about me on stage.
Right.
So the first thing I said,
He's referring to white girls, by the way.
I'm referring to girls.
Girls. That's true. Yes.
yeah.
He's referring to girls.
Yes, and intelligent ones that are usually between the ages of 20 and 30, also known as my dating pool.
And he also thinks you're all hot.
Yeah, yes. I think women are all just...
We've already established your type is just women.
No, this is not true. I'm like a 1 or a 4 on the Kinsey scale, depending, but I'm not a 0 or a
What's
5.
the Kinsey scale?
Oh, if like it's like 0 to 5, where like if 0 is like gay and 5 is straight.
It's a spectrum. We're all on the spectrum.
Yes.
Okay, and sorry, what did you rank yourself in there?
Either a 1 or a 4, like, but not like not like a complete normie.
Okay. You're a little too gay for the gay guys or straight guys.
Ryan
are a little too
Gosling
straight.
has never asked me out.
Right, and me neither. And that's something I have to live with every day.
And if he did, I don't know that I would know how to react.
I don't think anyone would.
Exactly.
I think I would just cream my jeans and fall over.
I wouldn't go that far. I might not fall over, but okay. But yeah, so I don't know about the completely straight thing, but the yeah, I think I asked myself this once where I was like hypothetically, who would I want to be with? And I like imbued this hypothetical woman with every quality that I could possibly hope somebody would possess.
Yeah.
And then I was admiring my hypothetical perfect creation. And then I had this horrible thought of, if this woman is so good, why does she want me?
Oh, it's giving low self-esteem.
No, no,
Ashwyn.
no. Just that the hypothetical was perfect, and I'm not. So,
Right.
but
Yeah. It's like you create a fake person in your head.
yeah, but now it's like whenever I think about what to do or what not to do, I look at it through the lens of who I would need to be for that to happen for me.
Right.
And it's not like I'm letting somebody else judge me because it's still my hypothetical woman, right? So it's
You can't judge her. You
it's
can't
just-
judge my hypothetical wife.
no, no. Well, it's just like me philosophically judging me through a character, right? Which makes it a little easier.
Right. Do you think like would you go for like a robo wife? Like would you like
What?
like I don't know, like I think AI is taking all of our jobs. Surely they're going to take wife to Indian stand-up comedian any day now.
You are as close to inanimate as I'm comfortable with.
You just called me hyper for the last 40 minutes. Now you're like, you are inanimate for me.
I didn't say you don't have energy.
Okay, Ajahn, speaking of, I hope you don't mind me saying this about you, but I feel like you are famously a hopeless romantic. You do a lot of famously a hopeless romantic. There's millions of people that have seen your content online.
Oh, that stuff, yeah.
For those of you who don't follow Ashwyn, you should. But he posts songs online and does these translations, which I think you'll do a better job of explaining it than I will.
Well, Hindi and Urdu are like emotional languages, in my opinion, more so than English is. Like, I find English very analytical, which is why I use it in stand up because I can explain myself easily. But it's easier for me to be funnier or more emotional in Hindi or Urdu. And then a lot of the music that we have, like when you actually translate the words directly to English, the words sound very fruity and colorful and like extremely exaggerated. But in Hindi or Urdu, it sounds like business as usual because we actually speak like that sometimes. So, like, for example, like when I was growing up, whenever my mom would get frustrated with me, she says this sentence which is like, "Khoon pila pila ke pala hai tumhe," which literally translates to, "You were raised on my blood," which in English sounds a little,
Yeah, it's a little intense.
right? But in
My
Hindi,
mom said,
it just,
you were raised on my blood. I'd be like,
yeah, but in Hindi, she's just calling me ungrateful in a funny way.
right.
Right. So a lot of those translations are me like taking songs and giving them like a backstory or a setup so they sound like a punchline. And then I can kind of sing in key sometimes. So like that helps. But the point for me is more just like look at the comparison between the languages,
Right.
and then hoping.
Again, it's amazing somebody that this analytical is still single. Do you start your dates like this? So you're just like, oh, well. No, but what I wanted to...
No, I just send them my own reels.
You said you do yourself... Yes, are you on any dating apps? You don't need dating apps. You just send your reels around.
I don't even send them now.
Oh, they make their way around on their own, do
No,
they?
I'm happy being single. That's what I was trying to
You're
say.
happy being single. Okay.
My DMs read like yours.
You really?
I think so.
Okay. What do you...
Well, I feel like...
There's also Indian dudes asking for your hand in marriage in your DMs?
No. It wasn't who is in my DMs. They read like yours.
Okay.
They don't look like yours.
Okay, so he's got a lot of pussy in the DMs. That's what he's saying.
We're going to cut this entire segment.
No, we're not. It's my podcast. Okay, so no, I'm just kidding.
My point was more, it's not attention I want. It's the right attention.
That makes sense. Do you think, would you be willing to go through some ghosting stories with me?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're getting up to Halloween.
Okay.
Everybody's getting ghosted.
Okay.
Have you been ghosted?
And I'm sorry.
And I was particularly...
I was busy.
Otherwise, I would have helped. You would have made sure that they wouldn't...
No, otherwise I would have
ghosted.
texted back.
Right. Wait, you're ghosting yourself?
No, other people.
Yeah.
I haven't been ghosted.
Yeah, but you're ghosting other people.
But also like not on purpose. I'm traveling a lot. and I was outside of the country for like a
This is
good.
just what you're in
2
Winnipeg,
weeks.
like you're just.
No, I
like-
was in the States on roaming and then also driving through the Rockies. And also, my parents have been with me for 23 days. If you think I have time for anything else right now,
Maybe you just shouldn't try to date when your parents are in town.
well, I met them before my parents got here.
Oh.
What was I supposed to be like? Okay, my parents are coming and I'm going to need a brief hiatus from this conversation.
Yeah, I actually think the girls would love that.
Oh, yeah?
If a man told me, he's like, sorry, my mom's in town, I can't talk, I'd be like, what a little bitch.
Yes, and I wouldn't like that very much. But no, I don't ghost people. I actually prefer to. I prefer direct. But you knew this.
You prefer direct rejection.
Yeah.
You like pain. That's kinky. I respect that.
No, I like honesty.
Okay, even if it results in pain.
Yes, the hurtful truth is better than a pleasant lie.
That's hot. That's the hottest thing you've said in the last 40 minutes we've been chatting. Okay, you ready? Ghosting story. Okay.
Mhm.
On Friday, I stayed up with a guy till 4 a.m. So an 8-hour-long date, our third date. We made out in his car, which I felt embarrassed by, but he was like, no worries. We'll see each other again and it'll be great. Anyways, I sent him the text the next day and he hasn't responded. It's been like a week now. I didn't think I would get ghosted like this. First of all, would you ever make out in a car?
Yeah.
Do they have cars to make out in India?
Where do you think your cars get made?
Wait, they're pre-made out in? Is that what you're telling me? Someone's pre-made out in my sedan?
Look, okay, there's 1.4 billion people, and we're a little short on space. Okay, you're telling me you think there's a whole factory floor and nothing's happening? I refuse
No.
to believe that.
Where's the craziest place you've ever hooked up?
Nope.
Pass.
There were cameras, and I don't think the footage has been deleted yet.
Wait, Ashwyn, can you give us a hint? Was it a good experience? Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had fun.
Wait, so were you alone during this experience?
No, I don't think that would qualify as a hookup.
Yeah, okay. I was just clarifying. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think that would qualify as masturbating on the street.
Public indecency, actually.
I mean, we were pretty indecent, but
So it was on a street then?
it helps having a partner in crime.
Right. Okay, so
Literally.
you said street. Was it on a street?
Everything's on a street. This is on a street.
Ashwyn. Okay, we're not gonna get the details. Okay, so you would hook up in a car. You're telling me every car I've ever been in, someone has hooked
I
up
have
in
not
before.
hooked up in every car you
Ashwyn's
have ever
hooked up
been in.
Every car we've ever
Just
been
the
in.
one we were in together.
Ew,
That's it. Okay. That's
ew.
Guys, these are punchlines, not truth.
Why do you think this girl got ghosted?
Remind me the context.
So there was very little context. We're reaching here. She made out with a guy in his car on their third date till 4 a.m. They had an 8-hour-long third date. And she was kind of like, oh, oopsies. I'm so embarrassed that I was making out with you in your car. And he was like, don't worry, baby. I'll see you again next time. It'll be so fun. And then she texted him the next day. And then she didn't hear from him ever again.
Maybe he died.
I like that answer. Good answer. Good answer. He died. Honestly, that's how I feel about anyone who's ever ghosted me. Peacefully, just respect the dead.
Or deported.
Yeah, you're right. We have no context clues. We also don't know, was this girl ovulating? Maybe she wasn't usually a makeout kind of girl.
Maybe he was dealing with his blackface allegations. We don't know.
Maybe his parents from town came to visit and he was like, sorry, I need to wipe this car down and never see you
Justin and Sophie broke up for a reason.
again. Do you think she was actually dating Idris Elba?
What? No, what?
That was the rumor on the street that Sophie Trudeau was with.
Dating Idris Elba?
Yeah. This
I
is
don't
a
know
year
if
ago.
Idris Elba would go for a Sophie Trudeau.
No,
No.
we don't think so. No.
No, I've gotten
No.
tacit agreement
No.
from our producer.
No, that's not gonna happen. Well, I don't know his. I don't know his type, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
I've never asked him.
I think he is everybody's universal type.
Yeah,
And then everybody else is just trying.
right.
But I don't know. I don't know what happened with Justin and Sophie. I mean, she never responded to my DM.
Do you think it was because he let too many Indians in the country?
Idris? I don't know. Idris was in charge of the immigration policy.
We got another ghosting story. Okay,
let's do it.
It says, I had been dating this guy for a little bit more than 2 months. I couldn't believe how well it was going. We were both busy people. He had a full-time job and I'm a full-time student. We already had been moving towards more intimate stuff and romantic stuff. I thought maybe we'd reach a point in which we'd start talking about what are we, in brackets, I don't know how dating works. This person sounds just like you. Then he got extra busy at work due to some issues, and I completely understood how that could be time consuming, so I didn't see it as an issue in him not texting back for the first week. He texted back at the end of the first week to apologize and ask how I was. We talked for a bit. I thought that meant he was finally not busy and things would go back to as usual. We usually texted daily or at least once every other day, but I was wrong, ... It's been about 19 days since he last texted. I haven't texted.
I think the problem might be that you're keeping count.
Yeah, this person sounds very anxious. Like they're really keeping score. They're like, it's been 19 days, 27 minutes, and 3 seconds.
On day 21, my one guy texted me. Like, it's... Do you have porcelain dolls in your bedroom?
Yeah. He says 19 days since his last texted. I've texted him myself every now and then, but... Oh no, she's texting him. She doesn't even know if he sees them. I stopped texting at all this past Tuesday. I keep telling myself he's just busy, but I'm really sad about it. This is my first time ever dating or even liking anyone. So I have no idea how it's supposed to work or if this is normal or if I'm just too clingy.
Ooh. If this is your first time dating, I can understand having separation anxiety. Even if it's your last time dating. I understand. Yeah, I understand. You're overdoing it a little bit, which is making it worse, which I have also done.
Have you ever felt like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yesterday. I had somebody that I met after a show. Not a great place to meet somebody.
No, famously a horrible place.
But we went to dinner with her friends and my friends after, which I enjoyed. And then when we were texting, even though the texting was sporadic, every text ended with a question. So I was like, this sounds like somebody trying to move the conversation forward. But then I wasn't really ever sure of the intention. And my historical problem, as I told you, has been not being clear about my intention.
Right.
So I was very clear from the get-go this time.
Do you think, do you overcompensate? Do you think you're like too clear and like too intense?
I wasn't, yes, I was. I was overzealous in my ministrations.
Oh my gosh, you speak like a philosopher every time. Like I've never heard
I didn't send a dick pic or anything. I was just very obvious. But then I also realized I am intense in general, and I don't think it's something I can really ease somebody into. So if they're not going to be with it from the get-go, it's not going to be like, there's no way to be like, I'm going to hide my intense for 2 weeks and then I'll be myself once you like me.
And you'll be like a really chill girl.
Yeah, so all this to say, if it's not going to work, it wasn't going to work, and it's never going to work. And it's probably better to have that happen than have that not happen.
Right.
So
I feel like I have the reverse problem as you. As like when I'm getting to know somebody, I'm like, like you stay over there. Like, like asserting any type of no. And then like once it gets like to like a certain inflection point, then I'm like, okay, it's fine. But I'm very...
because when I told my friend about this, she was like, Ashwyn, like really the best way to have people like you in relationships when you're just getting to know each other is to not care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a terrible solution.
No, it's the best. What are you talking about?
Because I can't make myself care when I don't, and I can't make myself not care when I do. So if I can make myself not care in the first 2 weeks, that probably means that I'm not going to care about you for the rest of my life. Like, this is the whole problem, is like for the first 6 months, they're like, be aloof, give chase.
Yes,
And I'm like, that gives me no time to actually think about how I feel. And then 6 months and you're like, I have decided that I like you. And that is the first time in my life I get to stop and be like, oh, I didn't even think about whether I liked you. I was too busy chasing.
And you've already hooked up with them in the car at that point. Like.
Yeah. And then they're like, why are you ghosting? I'm like, because we could have both been chill from the beginning, no? We could have both taken our time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't... So it's like the game gets in the way of everyone.
And
right?
you're awful at the game, is what I'm hearing you say.
Oh, I have always been awful at the game. And I don't think it's going to be particularly helpful for me to get any better at it.
No, I think it's funny because I think like the things that make for like good in like the dating game in terms of like being detached, like being at arm's length from people all the time. Those are the very same things that like you can't be if you want to have a healthy
well, that's what I was saying.
relationship.
Well, I'm like, if you're saying my problem is that I care, I think that's fine.
Yeah, if that's the worst thing.
Eventually, I will
Okay.
find somebody else that
Basically,
also
what we're
cares.
hearing, ladies, is Ashwin's got cool shoes with his face on him. He cares too much. He has too much sex in cars because he's too adventurous. Too many girls are in his DMs. He doesn't have time to answer them because he's like being a good son. Like,
I would like to end this podcast with a statement about the patriarchy.
please.
It hurts us all.
Would you ever do an arranged marriage?
Sure. Depends who's arranging it.
What if I arranged it?
Is she hot? Then no.
I'll do my best. Is she hot? Oh my God. The patriarchy hurts us all. Is she hot? Ashwyn, speaking of your Instagram, we're going to wrap it up now, but let us know, where can everyone find you? Where are you performing next?
Sure. You can find me at Ashwyn Singh on Instagram, TikTok, Ashwyn Singh Comedy on YouTube. I just released 8 minutes about a conflict that you should probably check out. I won't name it because every social media platform censors the name for some reason. And then Watermelon. And then I'm going on tour and I'll be in London, Amsterdam, Dubai, Mumbai, and Bangalore in December, and then every Canadian city. Toronto, I'm here in November on the 22nd. Windsor, November 1st and 2nd. That's too many. She might come to Hamilton with me on the 31st if she can figure out how not to dress as a slutty nurse.
Oh my God.
And then those are the shows. And then,
We got your Instagram.
am I supposed to tell them anything else?
No, we got your Instagram, we got your TikTok. Yeah.
Hillary's following. I would love to see all of you at many different shows. Just
Check it out, guys. You'll have fun. He's funny.
brighten up the room.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for getting overstimulated with us. Bye.